Hello my friends and welcome back to another wild Brotato combination in the Genetically Modified Overkill mod. How this mod works, if you aren't familiar, is that it combines all of the stats of two characters together. So you get every advantage and every disadvantage of both characters. I'm going to be selecting two random characters again because I had a really good time with that last time. Let me know if there's specific combinations that you think will be really fun. I think there are some that will be genuinely impossible because they stack too many penalties, and some that will be way too easy because they stack too many bonuses. But for the most part, this mod is about making insane things happen, not about being sort of a strictly balanced run. Here we are going to just hit some random buttons and kind of see what happens. So I should also mention, don't worry if you're a fan of the vanilla random series, this has not replaced it. I'm just kind of mixing things up because I wanted to try this mod and we want to keep things fresh. So we got one random and we got a second random. So you can see we got well-rounded and speedy. I'm actually going to re-roll this because I think that well-rounded is just going to be kind of a boring thing to combine with. It's just some bonus stats, so it doesn't really do anything interesting. But notice that the game does give us these penalties just for activating the GMO mod. Alright, let's try this again and see if we get something different. Sick and Cyborg. Okay, so we are going to be taking damage. We have a lot of lifesteal, which is very good with the Cyborg starting minigun. And we will need to build engineering in order to sort of cope with the second half of the wave. Luckily, the lifesteal from Sick will not turn off even when Cyborg changes all of our ranged damage into engineering. So we should be able to do some really fun stuff. I'm considering going for Screwdriver or Wrench. I did Screwdriver for my build for the Cyborg. We could also do something really wild and go with like Plank. That will explode with engineering. The ranged damage component won't be useful, but the damage from engineering does affect the Plank. I think what we're going to do here is just play it a little safe, and I will take the Screwdriver because that's also just a really fun weapon. Alright, so we take 1 damage every second, but we have tons of lifesteal from being the Sick. And then halfway through the wave, this should turn blue, and now all of our ranged damage, of which we currently have none, has been converted to engineering. Really fun to combine these two characters. I think this character combo is going to be pretty powerful. Obviously, Bag early game is going to be ridiculously strong, so we'll take that. Here I want either ranged damage or harvesting, anything along those lines. Yeah, we'll just take some harvesting. So I'll just quickly show what we've got. We've got extra HP, 25% lifesteal. We cannot use HP regeneration, and we take 1 damage every second. On the Cyborg, we get a minigun, and any ranged damage we buy is more valuable. And then halfway through the wave, all of our ranged damage becomes engineering, meaning that we are going to require a way to transition from using this minigun primarily to using the range damage. One of the things that Cyborg does really well is just starting with a minigun, which is one of the best weapons to lifesteal with. So having the additional lifesteal from Sick is a very high synergy component. I wonder if I can actually, if there is a way to, maybe what I should be doing for this build, and I might try this next time, we've already started, but if I do this sort of random component again, I might turn up the difficulty after we roll our dice. I'm going to grab the Screwdriver again here just to try to max out those, and we'll take this Cake as well, because max HP is good. Because I think this build is going to be so powerful that the default Danger 5 difficulty setting is just not going to phase it at all. I could easily be proven wrong, of course, but my belief here is that we are just going to be so strong that we are never in any danger of losing this run. Obviously, there's some hubris there, which may come back to bite me later on. I'm going to take this ranged damage. It will convert to engineering at a very favorable exchange rate, and we get a lot of it, so it's very good. I will take the Screwdriver as well, and we'll take Cake, and we'll keep rolling. I guess I should have rolled for Screwdrivers. I got a little caught up in just kind of experiencing the class and bought items. I should have been buying hard rolling for more screwdrivers, we would have those leveled up. But generally, I think it's fine to just buy items on this character class, especially because the items we bought gave us ranged damage, which is so valuable for the cyborg. Ideally, we would like to end up with something like 4 screwdrivers and 2 miniguns, especially because miniguns are how we're going to kill the bosses. You want to kill the bosses with the miniguns before the wave ends. I'll take more attack speed. Attack speed is just going to be really good here. Although, +1 flat damage. I think I'll take the level 2 upgrade. Here, yeah, we can take some crit chance. It's a level 3 upgrade, so that's kind of nice. This whole shop is great. I don't believe I can afford all of it, so let's buy the screwdriver for sure. Coffee, and we'll take the ranged damage. Lock this duck, and then roll again. Sharp Bullet is going to be pretty good as well. Our piercing, I guess it does decrease the minigun's native piercing, so maybe we actually don't want Sharp Bullet. It's going to make the minigun worse at clearing stuff. We will take the dynamite, of course, though, because we have these screwdrivers. Generally, you want to be careful with Sharp Bullet on weapons that already have a form of piercing, especially if they pierce multiply, like shotguns, for example. Shotguns actually really suffer if you put Sharp Bullet on them, because so much of the damage comes from the piercing effect, and when you decrease the piercing damage, that multiplies together. Can I get this guy? Yes, got him right at the end. Our screwdrivers hit really hard because we just have so much engineering. I'll take this extra harvesting. That's always nice to get early, and then here I will roll. We are going to grab... Yeah, I'll just get more harvesting. So if we take this much harvesting, we're over 21. At 21 harvesting, it starts increasing by 2 per wave because the compound interest rounds up on harvesting. Buy the duck and the dynamite and roll. Keep leveling our screwdrivers. I'm going to keep buying crit chance as well. Screwdrivers have decent starting crit chance, so we can increase that and actually critically hit pretty often. And then... we don't want to buy stuff like Peaceful Bee because the damage multiplier goes both ways. So if we multiply our ranged damage, if we buy negative range damage, we lose 2.5 rather than 1. I'm going to lock this, or increase by 250%, 3.5 rather than 1. I'm going to buy this lemonade, though, because consumable healing is always good. Actually, this build will heal so well. With 25% lifesteal and a minigun, we don't need to buy any healing at all, so I'm just going to skip the lemonade. Normally not an item I ever skip, but we already just have so much healing on this build, especially if we get a second minigun, which is fairly likely to show up at some point. One other reason I'm buying attack speed fairly aggressively is one of the best things we can get is improved tools, making our screwdrivers spawn twice as fast. The tricky part about playing this class, and you can see this happen more often in my actual cyborg guide, is that you have to switch from thinking of yourself as a ranged character to thinking of yourself as a melee character halfway through. I'm going to take the alien worm because we don't care about consumable healing at all, so this is basically just max HP. And then here I'm going to reroll. We're looking for ranged damage. That's perfect. I do want some armor sooner than later, but getting just enough max HP is going to be good. Armor combos really well with the amount of healing that we have because it makes each point of healing more valuable. So you really want to be trying to build armor when you have a lot of healing in a build. Buy a screwdriver. Similarly, you want to buy dodge for the same reason. That being said, I will still decrease my armor to take this early wheelbarrow. If you get wheelbarrow this early, it's one of the best items you can find. We'll upgrade our screwdrivers and roll again. Keep upgrading these screwdrivers. Stone Skin. I love getting Stone Skin early because it gives you the ability to buy armor and gain max HP. But going down to -3 armor is super dangerous, so I'm going to pass on it here. Basically, Stone Skin works as an economy item, especially if you find it early, because it lets you skip buying max HP and instead just focus on buying armor. But going to -3 armor and not actually getting any benefit from the Stone Skin until we find a lot more armor seems quite risky to me, so I want to avoid that. Now that the wave has transitioned over, our landmines are starting to come into play, and my just actual weapon attacks are how we have to kill things. Getting to just ignore buying healing is really nice on this character. We can just focus purely on damage. Yeah, I'll buy some more movement speed. We're currently at negative movement speed, and you never want to be at negative movement speed. Now, up to plus 9%, that's pretty good. We don't really need more lifesteal, but we do need more percentage damage, because it's currently negative, so I'm going to buy the ritual and the metal as well, and that will get our percent damage up positive at least. Roll again and buy a bag, because it's an economy item. And then Insanity, I think, is also going to still be good. Typically, you want to increase your lowest stat in terms of the damaging stats. So percent damage, attack speed, crit chance, and flat damage, you want to increase the lowest one. Anything that multiplies your ranged damage, though, on this character is going to be so strong because we get 3.5 times our ranged damage purchases. So our flat numbers are going to be enormous. Any percentage increases we get are correspondingly more valuable. All that to say that crit chance is extremely good on this character. I'm trying to let the eggs hatch, but they aren't. They keep spawning next to me and then we kill them. Because we have so much damage output, we can kill these big slashers very easily, and that's worth a lot to us. I can't say this is the most challenging run I've ever played, but it makes a fun break. What I will probably do next time is if we get a combo that I think is really broken, I'll turn up the difficulty to like 182%, where enemies move faster and deal more damage and stuff. And that will help maintain some of the challenge. Add some attack speed here, and we're going to reroll this. I'm looking for flat ranged damage or armor. I'll take the armor. Percent damage would also be good too, of course, but just getting our armor to the point where we don't die in sort of a stupid way is, I think that's the only way we can lose this run, is really important. Keep upgrading our screwdrivers so we're spawning more landmines, and we'll buy the incendiary turret. Once we switch over to engineering mode on the cyborg, the incendiary turret can really help our wave clear. We'll also definitely take this clover. While building dodge isn't super important, I think it is still good for us. Do I want this claw tree? So melee damage does have some function on this character because we've got the screwdriver, and crit chance is also fairly valuable, so I think I will buy the claw tree here. It's a somewhat inefficient way to increase our damage, but the crit chance is super good, and the melee damage does help scale our screwdrivers, so it can be useful as well. Although, oh no, wait, we can't increase our melee damage. Forgot about that from the cyborg, so that was a bad purchase. I just forgot that cyborg can't get any melee damage. You can get engineering, but only at 1/4 rate. It's sometimes still worth buying actual engineering, though usually you're just going to want to buy ranged damage. But melee damage, obviously, is totally wasted. Really badly want to... we're going to come up and hit this guy, because our attacks are pretty good, actually. We really want to hit our second minigun, or at least some other ranged weapon if possible, just because our clear speed in the ranged damage phase is actually not that good. I need to find more flat ranged damage. I think we're actually falling behind where a cyborg wants to be, and so the clear speed is actually somewhat starting to suffer on this build. We'll take the or the damage. That's excellent, increases our percent damage a lot. Landmines, of course, a great item because that's what we're trying to do. Do I just want 15% attack speed, or do I want to roll for damage? I think it's a high enough level upgrade. I'll just take it. Clover is great. Power generator, this will be very good as well, just increasing our percent damage and letting us buy speed for percent damage. Let me keep re-rolling. Again, Alien Worm, we don't care about losing consumable heal because we have so much healing from our lifesteal from Sick, so this is just a very efficient way to buy maximum HP for us. Move speed is great. We only get a little bit of engineering from this because of the Cyborg's engineering purchase penalty, but Compass is still going to be really good because we get 5% damage. I'm considering buying these glasses because range is actually a problem for screwdrivers often. They're very low base range, and that's one of the things that can help hold them back as a melee weapon. That being said, I think we do enough damage and are just a strong enough build. I don't really need to focus on buying range. I just want to focus on getting my defensive and offensive stats really sorted out. It's interesting that our screwdrivers are still contributing quite a lot to our wave clear, even during the non-engineering phase of the build. Or of the wave, rather. One thing that I'm trying to do, although it's quite difficult, is to prevent enemies from walking on the landmines during the ranged damage half of the build. That way we still have all these landmines ready to blow them all up when we hit the engineering damage half of the build. And especially because this is wave 9 and our character is so strong, we can really farm up a storm by having these landmines spawn under them and blow up a whole bunch of little weak enemies all at once. It feels really weird to only get 1 HP from consumables. Normally I would never ever reduce my consumable healing like that, but this character heals so much that I think it's worth doing. We'll continue to increase our luck, and we've got 1% dodge. I could actually start building dodge, but what I want more than anything else is ranged damage. That being said, when presented with 3 armor, I'm going to take it. 3 range damage is perfect, because that brings our range damage from 17 to 28. Pocket Factory will be great. Pocket Factory has some special synergy with Cyborg, because you build up the turrets over the course of the wave, and so you have built up a certain number of turrets by the time the engineering part turns on. The point in the wave at which Pocket Factory is contributing a lot anyways is the second half of the wave, so the fact that you don't have engineering in the first half of the wave doesn't really matter for this item. Continuing to increase our range damage, which also increases our engineering, of course. Range damage, great. Broken Mouth. Do I want a submachine gun? I would probably take a higher level one just to make sure that we've got some damage during the ranged half of the wave, but a level 1 submachine gun I'm just not going to pick up. I also rolled past that item because we didn't want to decrease our speed, since speed is damage for this build. We will continue to increase our range damage, though, and I actually want all of these. I'm going to buy the bait here, because wave 10 is a pretty safe wave to buy bait on, and then we will also lock the Cyclops Worm. It's funny, our 2 turrets have spawned right next to each other. So you can see we're actually starting to take enough damage. The healing is not fully keeping up, but as soon as we stop taking damage, we immediately get to heal back to full because our lifesteal is so good with the minigun. Minigun's rapid attack means that you get tons of lifesteal from it. The additional Pierce, if we had taken the Sharp Bullet, would have been very useful for all these turrets that we're getting from the turret items in the Pocket Factory, so even though it might have hurt our minigun damage, it's possible that I should have taken that anyways. I like this mod because it creates a lot of chaos. I think I might not do purely random characters anymore just because this run was so easy. I mean, I guess I could still die, but it, to me, at this moment, seems unlikely. You can bookmark that for future reference. I will take the Whetstone just because I don't care about the 24 materials that much. So even though we don't really need 4% more lifesteal, it's still just nice to have it. I will grab the crit chance here and increase our damage from those percent damage increases. Ooh, a nuke launcher. So we do have some explosion damage. We'll have lots of ranged damage. Yeah, I think the nuke launcher is going to be fun to take. And here I'll just lock it, not buy anything else. Maybe roll one more time just to see what we might hit. Cyberball is interesting. We can gain quite a bit of damage from that because we have luck and percent damage. So I think I might take that as well as the fin. And that gives us quite a bit more percent damage for the Cyberball as well. We can keep the nuke launcher locked for the next wave. So this will be our second ranged weapon. Obviously the nuke launcher doesn't contribute as well to lifesteal as a second minigun would, but it's also really fun. In an ideal world, we would find the Gatling laser, which scales off of engineering as well. Or one of the two super miniguns scales off of engineering. I can never remember which one it is. I am still not entirely sure why we have the chain gun and the Gatling laser in the game, since they both do exactly the same thing, but they're both really cool weapons, so hopefully we roll one. I'm just charging straight into groups of enemies to try to maximize my farm at this point, just doing as much damage as we can with our attacks. Great to grab more armor. I will recycle this. I think we've got plenty of harvesting, and I do want to start building up dodge. We don't need fairy, because we can never get our HP regen over. Our HP regen is never going to recover from being at negative 100. I'm going to take 3 armor over 12% damage, because again, I think the only way we lose this game is just by not building enough defensive stats, and I will take this 9% dodge as well, so we can start building that up towards our dodge cap. We will combine 2 screwdrivers and grab a nuclear launcher here. We get some additional dodge, some additional armor, and I will lock this speed as well to increase our damage output. I will throw in 1 reroll just to see if there's anything else that I want. Something that's kind of interesting when you have power generator or if you're the speedy is that you can keep increasing your speed over the capped value and keep getting the secondary stat from it. So if I bought shackles here, capping our speed at 26, we would buy fin, and our speed would stay at 26, but the damage we were getting from speed, thanks to power generator, would actually still be 36. So it's really worth keeping that in mind if you find yourself with too much speed, because going too fast can actually put you in danger sometimes. That being said, this build is so strong and so much fun, I think we actually want to go too fast. That's going to be one of the ways that we can kind of make sure that we're still having a lot of fun with this build. And then we burst down the elite during the range damage phase. Cyborg, I think, is one of the weaker characters on the whole, but Sick is such a good character, and it combines so well with so many other characters. I think Sick is going to be a really high-tier chassis for GMO character builds. The additional HP and the additional lifesteal set your economy so far ahead that a lot of characters will combine incredibly well with the Sick, I think. Obviously, there's some that are completely unwinnable, like Sick plus Golem, you can't win, because you can never... you won't be able to keep up your lifesteal. Extra Stomach is great, that's going to give us some more HP, of course, which we want. And then here, I'm going to reroll this and see if we can find ranged damage. I think I'm still going to reroll looking for ranged damage, but I'll take 12% dodge when we get a level 4 upgrade, that's going to be great. Increase our speed, increase our armor, roll again. Let's buy the screwdriver, upgrade and buy this screwdriver. Buy more luck, because that's also good. Increasing piercing damage is great, because we've got the minigun. Now I'm really wishing I'd taken the sharp bullet. I shouldn't have turned it down, because we have the nuke launcher too, which basically double procs when you have any piercing effect for it. More luck and more HP are both going to be good, so I'll lock both of those. Oh, wait. Okay, so I need to not pick up consumables because we're taking 1 damage every tick. So I need to be a little careful to not pick up consumables because we're going to waste the extra stomach health since we are never full health on this character build, or often are not full health. It's better for me to store all the consumables until the end of the wave and then pick them up all at once, making sure that we are at full health at least some of the time for these consumables. So they'll all get pulled in at the end of the wave. We will still get the extra stomach HP as long as I am near full health. I do actually, as a result, need to increase my consumable healing again, at least by like 1 point, because we're probably going to give up a bunch of extra HP if I take a little damage right before the end of the wave. We do not want the strange book, so I'm recycling that. I will buy all of this stuff and roll, upgrade our screwdriver, lock this injection, and go to the next wave. This is going to be sort of a Brotato speed run. Brotato speedruns is kind of a funny concept because the waves are a set duration, so you're basically speedrunning just chopping. I don't know if anyone has done those, and if so, what is the world record? Because there's a minimum that you can get, unless there's glitches you can use to skip waves, which it's possible there are. Speedrunners have found a bunch of weird things like that in the past. It wouldn't surprise me if you could just skip certain waves entirely using funny quirks of the code. Having become immune to death this early in the run does reduce the amount of drama there is, but it's at least very satisfying to just run around killing everything. We've got 24% crit chance, so this giant belt will actually be really good because it's going to help us continue to do damage even with our minigun, even during the engineering half of the wave. So giant belt is a really nice find for us. Increase our damage, increase our ranged damage, and I'm actually not going to lock this alien magic. 8 max HP at this point is just not that important to us, so I'm just going to skip out on it. Trying to make sure our minigun is the thing targeting the elite. Both because it's our main damage output, of course, but also because it fires really fast and the critical hits are worth 1% health damage each. I don't think this is the most broken combo you can get, but it's definitely, it makes for one of the easiest runs you can possibly play, I think. Just having this much healing right from the start makes it very difficult to lose this run, I would say. Although, you know, never underestimate my genius at losing unlosable runs. We'll definitely take the explosive shells, that's awesome. It's going to increase the landmine damage a lot. Sad tomato, obviously we're not taking because we don't want the regen. And then here, more crit chance is going to be really good for increasing our giant belt effectiveness, so I'm going to grab that. Let's take a look at our damage output also. We did 19k from the minigun, 15k from the nuke launcher, and the screwdrivers are falling pretty far behind, but this does not count the damage that the landmines were doing, which is presumably quite a bit. Bait and more range damage. This does cost us 3% damage to buy the mutation, but it's still super worth it. Do I want 3% crit chance for minus 1 HP here? I think not, even with our crit chance synergy. I'll continue to buy Clover. That's going to continue to boost our dodge. Keep buying head injury. Roll again. Buy more bait. I think we've bought one bait already this round, so we're going to be double baiting it. If I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. I'm not going to buy the Weird Ghost. I think we could survive Weird Ghost, actually, because we have so much lifesteal. I think we would heal before the Sick 1 damage tick came in, but I'm not gonna risk the run on that. I will take the gambling token. Dodge is now quite valuable for us. As you get closer to dodge cap, each point of dodge becomes more valuable than the point before. So even though gambling token is an inefficient way to buy dodge and cost us armor, it's worth it here. Obviously, we're not taking Cute Monkey because we don't need any healing, and it would cost us a ton of range damage. Somehow, the 2 sets of bait aliens did fail to kill us. It's really interesting because now we have the bonus explosion damage. So our landmines are actually hitting for 19 before we have any engineering. That's pretty strong. Those are obviously not affected by our percent damage, but they are affected by explosion damage. Our screwdriver weapon attacks are hitting for about 250, which is pretty good, I would say. I did take a lot of damage there. I should have tried to heal up before the end of the wave so we could actually get some extra stomach HP. The extra stomach has not been good because we're sick, so we're always not at maximum health. I'll just keep taking ranged damage here. Obviously, we wouldn't mind the dodge either, but 3 ranged damage, you can just never pass ranged damage on this character. We won't take tardigrade because the damage from Sick would immediately tick it off. Let's definitely buy the turret, though. Wheat gives us ranged damage, so it's still very good, even though the harvesting has kind of lost its value at this point in the game. But we'll spend basically any amount on any amount of ranged damage because it's just so powerful for this character. You can see our nuke launcher is hitting for 600 now. Yeah, I definitely will buy consumable healing if I see it, because that will help our extra stomach actually give us HP. Obviously, 80 HP is plenty. We don't really need more, but just for the sake of optimizing the build and getting this incredibly powerful build to be as powerful as it deserves to be. How much are our landmines hitting for? Like 150? Yeah, 150, 250 there. That's pretty nice. More crit chance and dodge is exactly what we need. Very good to find the blindfold. Losing crit chance is still worth it to increase our metal, or to buy metal here. 20 luck. I think we can do better than any of these, honestly. Sure, I'll take 9% crit. That's a really nice bonus. And here I'm going to take the wings and the terrified onion. We'll get our speed up to some nonsensical value, just because that's really fun. Banner, even though we could use a little more attack speed, is just so inefficient. I'm not going to buy it here. Take a little max HP. Maybe not on the spicy sauce, because it's a very expensive way to buy max HP. Although we do have all the explosion damage, so actually I changed my mind. We're going to buy that. We have so much explosion damage that the spicy sauce is going to actually do a ton when we pick up these consumables. That guy did not last long. I will say again, I know I've mentioned this a few times, but don't worry, I'm going to be taking steps to make sure, you know, this is fun once, obviously. It's just fun to run around and be ridiculously powerful. But I will be taking some steps to make sure we don't get combinations that remove all the tension from the game in future. A run that you can't ever lose is not my idea of an amazing time, to be honest. Nice once in a while just to be ridiculously powerful, but you want to maintain some challenge. Ooh, explosive turret. This does benefit from the explosive damage as well, so that's a really nice one. Let's get faster. Very happy with that. Keep rolling. Faster still. And Gentle Alien's going to be good, so I will buy that as well. Alright, we are quite fast. Just zipping across the map here. If only we'd found, like, Sif's Relic or something, because I'm leaving so many materials on the ground. Make sure we kill that loot alien, which we do in a single nuke launcher attack. Yeah, the best thing you could find on this character is the gun that scales off of engineering damage, which I think is actually the chain gun, not the Gatling laser. Might be both. Honestly, can't remember at this point. Someone, I'm sure, will let me know in the comments, since that works both with your ranged damage and with your engineering. The healing that we have isn't fully keeping up with the incoming damage at this point, because we're getting hit pretty hard, but it's still way more healing than we need. Obviously not taking that. Do I just take 3.5 range damage here? I think we can maybe do better. Get a higher level upgrade. Sure, I'll take more speed. At this point I just really want to see how much speed we can get, because it's funny. 30% damage, I don't think is worth losing that much attack speed for us, honestly. We'll take the incendiary turret, we'll take more explosion damage. If only I could get this second nuke launcher. What would I have to sell to get that? We don't have a recycling machine, so I don't think I can feasibly sell enough to get the second nuke launcher. That would be really fun, though. We'll take Cyclops Worm, and at this point, obviously, the extra stomach HP doesn't matter because we're going into wave 20, but the lemonade is still good. And then I could have taken a bunch of this other stuff, but we're fine. Let's blow up these elites and take this ridiculous character home. Like, you know, as I've been saying, this is a nice palate cleanser. Get away from some of the really tense runs we've had lately, but definitely want to be focusing on runs that have some possibility of defeat. Alright, so that was the incredible nonsense created by combining Sick and Cyborg. Let me know, I don't think this is the best possible combo, but honestly I think it's gotta be in the top like 20% of available combos. Let me know what your favorite combinations are, or what you think would be even more powerful than this one, and then maybe I'll play some of those on the maximum challenge mode, or we'll try to do an endless run. One thing that I'm interested in doing, I think if people would enjoy it, is live streaming this mod, because I think this mod really works well as something that people can give feedback to and kind of react to the ridiculous combos as they're happening, suggest character combinations that they really want to see, and so on. So keep an eye out for that. And as always, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. You can see that we have done 40,000 damage with the Giant's Belt. Only 1,000 with the spicy sauce, but the king of dealing damage is going to be the minigun, which dealt 50,000 within the last wave alone. Hope you've enjoyed the video, pals, and as always, if you have, please feel free to leave a comment, like the video. Both of those things help a ton with the algorithm, and you can subscribe to my channel for more of this and other strategy game videos. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.